Hamilton-based company MyApiary is building smart technologies for the apiculture industry. Darren Bainbridge has a background in product development engineering, and he identified the bee business as one ready for access to technologies designed especially for the needs of the industry.
About 4 years ago we found a need in the commercial beekeeping industry, and from there started learning beekeeping and spending a lot of time talking with commercial beekeepers and establishing, well, where could my background blend with the rural beekeeping background to actually give them enhancements around business productivity. In the early days, as a startup, you're always looking for funding, so we applied for a number of grants. So originally we were looking for a research and R&D grant, and AGMART liked what we're trying to do. It said, come back with a bit more information, and originally gave us a market research grant. We have used a second grant to develop a low-cost, production-ready hive monitoring prototype that we look to bring into the market once we actually have a good platform of business management established first.
How long have we spent on this site? We spent an hour on here.
The main emphasis behind MyApiary Manager is a logistics and productivity tool. So managing the day-to-day tasks, what the beekeeping teams are going to do, and recording the history of what's been performed on each apiary. And then as a business manager, you can look into that and do some business analysis.
So we've just fed them sugar.
And look at how effective the management technique's been this year and whether you want to make any tweaks.
American Foulbrood check, yes, we checked that.
The beekeepers enter it once on site, and when they sink, it's distributed to the wider team, and we can pull reports on it straight away. So we're really cutting down on the administrative work. So feedback so far this year is that we're saving the apiary manager about an hour a day. All the information is stored here in New Zealand in a server room, and so we're effectively also becoming the IT provider for these companies, so they're not having to maintain the software, host it, and keep it working. We do all of that for them. So here we're looking at the main operation dashboard. Down the side we have the list of jobs for the week, and we can see that we've got 13 apiaries and 560 hives to be worked. And it shows them visually where that work is. So if we click on one of these sites, we can drop down to the site's dashboard. At the top we can see that we've got 41 colonies on this site. We've got the work history of what's been performed historically. You can see the physical strength breakdown and the physical breakdown of what hives are on site. So here we have 23 doubles and 9 singles that have all been rated strong, and we've also got the site notes. But another useful tool that we've got is effectively what we call our sites list, which is a digital whiteboard. So here we have an overview of all the runs for the operation, and one of the most used workflows is the most neglected, so it brings to the top the runs that haven't been visited, so we can open that run and see the status of those apiaries and go into the one that needs the most attention. Do you want to put in what else you did at the same time?
Yeah, I gave them a feed. So
we run about 3,000 hives, and we're based in the Waikato. Yeah, we cover quite a large area. Yeah, we've got about 6 or 7 guys working for us at the moment. When it was just a one-man band, you could have just a notebook and just write it in with a pen, and you'd keep track of it, and a lot of it is in your head as well, and you know exactly what's going on. Now we've got 3,000 hives. I don't know what's going on everywhere. So with the MyApiary, the boys out in the field, I give them the job to do. They fill it in on the app, and it comes back to my computer, and I can see exactly what's going on. At the start of the day, you put all the information in, then you hit sync while you've still got an internet connection. Then they go out and they can do it without the internet connection, and come back at the end of the day, hit sync again, and it's all there. All the information is up to date, and you just know where you are. The way the meat industry is going up, people want to know where that cow was grazing and where that's come from, and so it's going to be the same with honey production. Well, it is the same with honey, because what we have to do is we have to say exactly where that honey was harvested from, where those bees gathered the nectar from. It's just all traceability, and it traces it right back to the hive it was produced from.
Some of the other technology we can use on top of the MyApiary Manager platform is our RFID. So we use a system similar to NATE, where we have effectively a cattle tag and a nail. We can hammer it into the boxes. So we can see here we've got them nailed in. It won't fall off, it can't be removed, and they're safe when they get re-dipped. and we can scan this for moving hives or moving the supers. So again, we just use a standard piece of tech that's familiar in the agriculture and the farming industry, and it's robust, and you can scan all your boxes on and off site. Primarily this is for asset control and traceability, and we can automate the extraction shed with it. We could potentially use it as a proof of ownership, because all of these tags are assigned to who buys them as a batch, so they all have a unique ID, so we could use it as evidence of ownership. One of the other products we have is a GPS tracker. Unfortunately, hive theft is a big industry in New Zealand and in Australia as well. We've had success with this in the Bay of Plenty, busting an organised crime group who were stealing hives to order, chopping and repainting them and then selling them on. And we were able to pick up where they were operating from and provide evidence for a court case. Last season, we got 15 companies on board and taking it through the season. And word of mouth is certainly a powerful tool, and at the moment we're expanding as fast as we can keep up with the demand. And every week I'm travelling the country, training, onboarding and building those relationships, and also helping our existing customers make full use of the tool. We are starting to get some overseas interest. We've had a few inquiries from the States, but we're getting more and more attention from Australia. This year they have their first annual Congress in 20 years, so we're going to be over there sort of educating the market on where we can help.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.